What are you back with another video, man? It's your boy Just Saw, and I'm actually back with another video, man. You know what's up? Today we're actually reacting to who killed Call of Duty. Honestly, I think Call of Duty is still fun. It's still fun, bro. It's still fun. You know, it has a different atmosphere to like PUBG and Fortnite. So or Valorant. You know, I think Call of Duty is still kind of fun. But to be honest, you know, people who actually played Call of Duty back then, I didn't. You know, don't really like the way it is these days, especially with the cartoon skins or anime skins, because it's a little bit mixed with cartoons and anime. But I just feel like they're trying to, like, you know, get kids into Call of Duty. Nonetheless, though, we ain't actually talking about that now. We're going to be doing a reaction to who killed Call of Duty. You know the vibes, man. If you like the video, like and subscribe. Alright, now let's get.
Do not stop shooting! Nah! Fire! Leave their heads from their shoulders! We are taking this damn flag!
Why does it look like that? What's my quality?
New COD is like this.
Yeah, I told you the enemy skin. I feel like they just want to be Fortnite. They want to compete with Fortnite. Who gives a shit about Nicki Minaj, honestly?
Call of Duty, in case you weren't paying attention, has become a complete joke. I personally ditched the game a while ago, but I think diehard fans have been hanging on the past few years, with Warzone 2.0 still able to hit 500,000 players back in 2022. But what has happened since Black Ops 6 came out 1 year ago is truly unique. There's been a complete collapse of the player base from within. Huge COD streamers and content creators are just giving up and quitting the game in droves right now. I noticed Jev just completely quit playing the game. The player count has driven off of a cliff, with concurrent player numbers on Steam sitting at around 60,000 since January. But it gets worse. In May, Activision got busted for inserting ads into paid versions of Call of Duty. They backpedaled and call it a UI glitch. Right. Beavis and Butthead and Seth Rogen skins show they've abandoned any pretense of this being a military game and have so little respect for us that they think we will leap at whatever retarded nostalgia bait they toss in our piggy trough. Black Ops 7's announcement last month, instead of generating hype, had the fan base letting out a heavy sigh with a historic amount of downvotes on the trailer.
Yeah, I saw that one. I was like, honestly, I will give you my own opinion. I feel like, you know, I like it. It looks like, you know, it could be cool. It could be cool. You understand? But I feel like, yeah, it's not like Call of Duty. We ain't gonna pretend on that one. But nonetheless, though, I feel like, you know, I like it. I like it. I like it.
User commented, "No matter what, there will be a bunch of Ninja Turtles and Teletubbies running around the maps. Might as well include them in the trailer next time." Also, them thinking they can buy you off with some cheap nostalgia bait always pisses me off, completely ignoring the fact this game is nothing like it was in 2005. Isn't it funny how on the cover art of the game, they're still leaning into this badass thing like, ooh, look, this new COD is going to be so gritty and intense. Boot the game up and there's 20 Barneys running around. So how do we get here, boys? How do we go from Call of Duty being the most successful military shooter of all time to Ninja Turtles running around with a pizza launcher as Activision desperately tries to squeak out $1 more from you? Well, I think it's four major things that killed Call of Duty, and I want to explain each one in detail. Number one, cosmetics in Call of Duty used to be an indicator of player skill. Now, any cosmetic can simply be purchased with a credit card, and it has no meaning anymore. So this might blow some minds, but did you know in World at War in 2008, literally the only thing that showed off what a badass you were was this tiny little number right here and this tiny little icon right here, but people worked their ass off for these. The next year, MW2 added calling cards which would show up in the kill cam whenever a player killed you. The best calling cards were only available for certain achievements, 100 headshots, 1,000 bomb defusals, things like that. Within a few years, gun camos started to be unlocked for incredible player feats. I remember diamond camo was the hardest to get in Black Ops 2. But if you ever saw the kill cam of somebody kill you with diamond camo, you thought, okay, I'm not so mad because that dude was a badass. So you see, back in the day, cosmetics in the game were limited, and what few cosmetics the game had were tied to player skill. You couldn't get the diamond camo unless you were a Giga Chad in Black Ops 2. In MW2, there was a calling card you could only get if you had called a nuke, aka you had gotten a 25 kill streak. You were showing off your skill and what a badass you were. How has this changed today? In modern Call of Duty, the best, flashiest, and most conspicuous items today are no longer tied to player skill. While yes, they technically still have a calling card for getting multiple nukes, the flashiest items are character skins, and these can all be purchased with a credit card. Nobody cares about your calling card when you're getting your ass beat by Nicki Minaj. Anybody with mom's credit card can become a Ninja Turtle or the guy from Saw or Nicki Minaj. In a word, cosmetics no longer have meaning or significance anymore. Now, why would Activision do this? Because at the end of the day, they don't care about gameplay. They just want to make as much money as possible.
Yeah, I have this thing I always say, man. I feel like in most artful things that you create, things that we create as human beings here, I believe that the moment you make everything about money is the moment the essence of whatever that you're trying to create dies. It's the same thing with music. When people started saying, oh, you know, I can, in the beginning, people who made music because they loved music, you understand? And they became successful for that. But then people started noticing, you know, the gimmicks, and they're like, okay, I can do this and make it trendier. And then that's where the art died. And now it means nothing. No one actually really care about the art of music and the creation and the process and the beats, the drums, the melodies, the rhymes, the poetry. No one cares anymore, you understand? And everyone just want to make money, and now they're gonna make those beats that make no fucking sense. It's the same thing with Call of Duty. Whenever money is involved, even in art used to be a show of skill. These days you just gonna see a painting with paint. It looked like someone just threw paint on the canvas and then sold it, and then someone's gonna look at it and say, oh, artful. What? Back in the day, it used to be something beautiful. You would stare at Mona Lisa and wish you could fuck her. But these days, bro, it's just it looks like a kid could do that. A kid could actually paint whatever that people these days are calling artful. And that's the same thing. It's like money destroys everything, bro. It just takes the essence of everything. The essence just dies. So, you know, money, bro, you know, it's the same thing with YouTube. Like literally the same thing with YouTube. Back in the day, Mr. Beast, so Illuminati, all of those creators from back in the day did YouTube, and they loved what they were doing and they were not getting paid. The moment people started getting paid, that's where the TikTok brain started. It's the same thing. It is literally the same thing. It is all the same thing. Money just kills the essence of anything that we as human beings create. And because you don't care anymore about the art, about being meaningful, about what you're creating, this is a military game. So let it be a military game. Fuck the money shit. Can you just make a military game that we enjoy, that we like? You get me? Fuck money.
Most players are bad. Most players have no skill. But if I can pay $50 for a Rambo skin, maybe that's going to make me feel better that I'm bad at the game. I really miss this aspect of Call of Duty where your achievement in the game was attached to some kind of trophy that you could show off. But those days are long gone. Before my next point, I want to tell you guys about a free game that, unlike Call of Duty, never went woke, and that is the based military vehicle combat game War Thunder. Blowing up enemy ships is fun as hell, it contains zero political nonsense, and of course it's made by a GigaChad Eastern European game studio. War Thunder is the biggest and most comprehensive military vehicle combat game on Earth, with 2,500 tanks, helicopters, and ships of 10 major nations, all rendered in perfect detail. Whether you want tank battles, naval destroyer battles, dogfights, everything is here for us military history buffs with realistic graphics and accurate historical sound effects. I think my favorite game mode is realistic mode, in which the game recreates famous battles from history. Click the links in the description down below and you can immediately claim all the bonuses you see on screen. Start playing the biggest vehicle combat game on Earth right now on mobile, PC, or console. War Thunder. Okay, back to the video. Number 2. Call of Duty has completely killed its own atmosphere and become a joke. Do you ever look around at Gapex, Fortnite, Call of Duty, 7 Gays to Die, etc., and just think every game has become the same game? When I was growing up, you actually got different experiences from playing different games.
Yeah.
Halo 3, Bad Company, and COD 4, despite all being first-person shooters, had completely different controls and were very different games. Call of Duty, despite being bombastic at times, was always known for its gritty, realistic military tone. The pinnacle of this was probably achieved in World at War. The ability to blow off limbs and heads and feet in World at War was truly unparalleled. Maybe the GameStop employee was looking the other way while your mom bought it for you in 2008. The game opens with a Japanese guard torturing an American POW by putting out a lit cigar in his face. You had soldiers screaming and crying out to God as they were burned alive with flamethrowers. At one point in the game, you wake up in a pile of corpses with the birds feasting on your flesh. Even the color grading of the game has much more muted, subdued tones compared to anything we would see today. World at War is a masterpiece. Alright, so you finish the single-player campaign. Now imagine in 2008, you boot up the multiplayer for World at War, and it looks like this.
Is that Starlight?
What indicates to me that Call of Duty might actually be collapsing as a brand right now is that the level of cartoony bullshit we are seeing in the game right now is something we've never seen before in the 23 years of this game's history. COD desperately needs to remember where it came from. It needs to get back to the basics. World at War had no cosmetics. The way your character looked would just change depending on your class, sniper, machine gunner, etc. Perks like stopping power and juggernaut required some level of strategy. There were only 3 kill streaks: radio, mortar barrage, and of course dogs. Just the tone of the voice lines in the old CODs was totally different. Gary Oldman out here making me believe I'm in an actual war right now.
Leon! On the ledge! Shoot him!
I want to give credit to the Modern Warfare games, of course, as well. Modern Combat, terrorists, nukes, the Middle East, badass Spetsnaz soldiers, Russian military. I actually think MW2 is my favorite campaign in the entire series. There were times, of course, where the campaign was over the top, flying down a hill in snowmobiles with a one-handed SMG, but there wasn't any goofy clown-ass bullshit in Modern Warfare. The games were badass. Fixing Call of Duty would mean killing all of the corny skins and characters and ridiculous trash that Activision has added to the game, and they make too much money off of this garbage. So guys, let's just accept that it's never going to happen. We simply have to find other games to play. I recommend Squad, Arma Reforger, Hell Let Loose, Insurgency Sandstorm, Ready or Not, etc. Number 3, Call of Duty needs to fix its skill-based damage modifiers and other SBMM trash that it added to the game since 2019. Do you ever notice that early on in the evening, COD puts you in easier lobbies, and as the night goes on, the game gets harder? That is 100% part of their algorithm. Here's another interesting patent that Activision filed for the game in 2017. Reading directly from the patent, the system may include a microtransaction arrange matches to influence game-related purchases. For instance, the system may match a more expert/marquee player with a junior player to encourage the junior player to make game-related purchases of items possessed used by the marquee player. So first off, we know that Activision is filing some sketchy patents that have to do with matching certain players with other players to make them buy more stuff. Another thing that players discovered in the code recently is a modifier that adjusts how much damage bots do according to that player's kill-to-death ratio. You can watch videos of it happening. So if you have a 0 kill-to-death ratio, you will do more damage to bots. If you have a 2.0 kill-to-death ratio, you'll do less damage to bots. So fans immediately wanted to know, is this happening with player damage? One YouTuber tried to do this in a private match and wasn't able to produce any difference based on your KD, but then you find a ton of clips online of bogus treatment that begin to make you really ask what's going on.
Bravo!
Okay, yeah, that one is just crazy. Actually, this was happening to me, but not on Call of Duty though.
So we know that connecting to the server is involved every time there's a hit marker. Basically, your console has to connect to the COD servers and then relay back before it can confirm that there's a hit. But the amount of sketchy junk going on lately should raise red flags for all of us. You'll see players unloading 2 clips into somebody before they die. You'll see blood splatters and obvious hits with no hit marker. So all of this horrible net code and manipulation of player lobbies and the amount of damage people are doing is just sketchy, and it's killing confidence that people used to have in this game that it was going to give them a fair experience.
Yeah.
So what are we asking for here? I honestly think COD needs to revert back to like its 2017 era netcode. I remember getting mad that somebody was dropping a Huey on me in the original Black Ops, but there was never me just completely hitting somebody and it not registering shots. So in order to fix this, Call of Duty just needs to take out all of its current garbage netcode and rewrite it completely, I think. This is the kind of junk that has made me never want to pick up Warzone again, and I hope they sort it out soon. Alright, this is the last one. Number 4. As I've talked about in other videos, Call of Duty needs to remove all the woke girl boss garbage from these games. So I know the single player campaign is such a minor thing to Activision these days because people barely play it. But when you start the Black Ops 6 campaign and it has all these Latina girl bosses, all these gay characters, and all this trans garbage, it just doesn't fit with the original tone of the game at all. You can get mad about it, but Call of Duty campaigns have always primarily featured men doing military stuff. There are virtually 0 women in elite combat roles around the globe. It's like less than 1%. Boot up Call of Duty and you would think 50% of military PMCs are women. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I'm not going to rant about the woke stuff in Call of Duty. You can see that stuff in my other videos, but I'm going to get out of here. So I think the only way they're going to fix COD is go back like 10 years, rewind the clock, and start over. Give us like 3 kill streaks. Give us a couple perks.
I just believe that is nothing personal, man. I feel like if they were not making money doing this, they probably wouldn't be doing it in the first place. So the fact that they are doing it, that means they are making money, you know, and as long as they are making money, the investors are happy. Let's think about it. The investors always be happy as long as they're making money. So it's not a personal thing, it's just a business thing. Business is business, I guess, but the problem is they're losing their core audience, you know. So that is the issue. But nonetheless, tell me what you think. Is Call of Duty trash these days, or do you like it as it is with the skins and everything? You tell me.